being from, DC, both from DC or whatever, how do you think DC has changed from when, we were teenagers, we were kids, like we've actually seen DC grow since we were teenagers.
So I'll tell you a story. I work in, leasing. I lease apartments. So, but the nice kind. So, I was touring this lady, right? And she was looking to live in Arlington. That's where I work. And she was saying how she was moving from what they call Noma.
Man. Wow.
Right? Oh, Noma. So I was like, yeah, I heard about that. And she was like, yeah, it's just gotten so bad. The crime's gotten bad. I said, yeah, that's because, they tore down Tent City. They made all the homeless people set up on K and First move.
Yep.
And they don't have anywhere to go. So they breaking in trying to find some heat. And she was like, yeah, but they couldn't stay there, right? And I was like, well, they were there first. Why couldn't they?
Yeah. You right, you ain't lying.
Why couldn't they? And that's on my tour. She ain't, and she was like, and that's what I mean. People, my issue is, and that's why you got $1 million buildings in downtown DC, in Northeast DC, in Southeast DC that cannot be leased, right? Because when you push Washingtonians, we push back. You think you want to build some new shit up in here and not give it to the people? What?
Exactly.
You think that shit gonna stand? What? I'm sorry. I see it. They run into Virginia. They getting the fuck out. I work in leasing. I know.
Wow.
I had a job offer me $400 a lease to come work in DC, and I said no because nobody want to stay there.
Ree Ree, and you're adding a new perspective to it, though. You're adding it. See, and y'all gotta realize, like, she's working in the apartment field, so she's seeing what she's seeing these people move. So that's why I keep telling everybody, I'm like, bruh, it's like Gotham. The rich will be preyed on, even if you don't look rich. The youngins don't care now. Look, I said our generation, we were beating up and robbing each other. The youngins like, no, let's go get the other people.
People on the train, if you alone, like these youngins is running up. It's terrible. And making of it. It's terrible.
Youngins, and I said not even youngins, like you said, you can't build something and try to push everybody out. You're gonna have to help the people. They're not gonna go nowhere. You feel what I'm saying? And I saw that firsthand when I was working at FedEx at Eastern Market. I'm like, these people walking around living, not saying it's trash, but they living in Unkland. It's Unkville. They don't even know it. And every time I'm talking about
Trinidad. What?
Man,
Trinidad told me because when I was driving Lyft, and this was 5 years ago, so that's probably even worse now. But when I was driving Lyft, I used to have friends in Trinidad, whatever, when I was in high school, and my mother used to live over there too. When she lived over there, the apartment she lived in was $750 because that's pretty much where you go when you just need a place. You know what I mean?
That's how it used to be.
That option no more. You used to get your whole place for $750, $800 a month over in Trinidad. Same apartments. They go in there, put up some doors, windows, put up some paint. $1,500.
Man.
So now you got people, and these people lease blind because they be in Oklahoma somewhere and get a job on Capitol Hill and see Trinidad still in DC, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I can live there. And then they get here and they be, niggas shooting up in the alley and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's really not fair for anybody.
Yeah.
Because you take advantage of people who don't know the area well, and they looking at radius and they looking at these pictures that you show them that they close to Union Station. They get here and it's a mile away. Like.
No,
it's not fair.
You said it's not fair for everybody. That's crazy. That's a good twist on it. It's not fair for everybody, not just for us, for our people.
These people are buying where they can afford. Just how we can. The issue is that a lot of Black people can't even afford to buy. So that means that the others that can afford to buy are buying where they can afford. You know, it costs you gotta be able to have $1 million to live up in Georgia Avenue. Those are $1 million homes now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even over in Northeast where we from, over Minnesota and shit, those houses going for $450. That's $500,000. It's no $250,000 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses.
Remember that was back in the day. That was back in the day how it used to be.
It just don't exist no more. So it's not fair for anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, unless you want to go broke now, what I can say is, being in my business, I also see that there's definitely a vast wage discrepancy between the races. Real bad.
Yeah.
We not manage money. We just not taught. You know what I mean? I see people talking to me acting like they struggling. They're like, damn, I really want to keep it under 1,800. I really, and these are for studios, by the way. My studios run $2,000. Woo! So they sit there talking about, and that's nothing. Cause in DC, they be close to 2,800. So they like, I really want to keep it under this amount. Okay, I guess this will work. Ooh, I'm going out my budget. And then I see their fucking budget. They bring in 8 bands a month, but they only willing to spend 1,800 on housing. A lot of times, Black people aren't taught how to properly budget. You know what I mean? And we're also not. We're so me, my. Not selfish, but self-centered. It's a difference. We're so self-centered that we don't collaborate as easy. We're so worried about somebody. You know, it's a thing called abundance mindset. Meaning it's a way of thinking where you just do without necessarily having a safety net. It's called abundance, and it's a way of kind of manifesting more into your life. So a lot of times, I forget what the name, what the other one is called, but we're always, we don't come from a place of abundance. We don't come from a place of God will bless us with more if we use what we have in the right way. Right. You know what I mean? So instead of us collaborating what we do have, like, for instance, like me and you going in on buying a property with a 4-unit house. Me and you can go invest in a 4-unit property over in Southeast somewhere, and we could live for free, make the niggas downstairs pay rent. But I'm too worried about you fucking up my credit, and you too worried about me losing out on the 10 bands you got to invest, so that dream don't happen, and we don't get to move on. You know what I mean? We don't have the abundance mindset that other people do. Shit, we still be kicking our kids out at 18.
Yep.
And then wondering why we can't live with them when we get old, because they don't have a place to stay because they wasn't able to stack up. It's very rare. I've seen a post. This lady was like 34, and she had a kid. And she said this was her first time living from under her parents' house when she bought her own house. And she had been on a salary job for years. So, you know, it was like, and she had a kid. So that means even a lot of times our parents will kick us out when we have children out of wedlock, or, you know what I mean, when we go to school or graduate or whatever. Go lay down.
Shout out to the kids, y'all. This is
She creepy. Ignore her ass.
It's all good. Shout out to the kids. Shout out to John. Shout out to the gang. No, but you're definitely spitting. You're definitely not. No, like everything you just said. Like it's like everything you just said. Like I'm like, bro, this is what I be thinking. But it has to be more of us thinking like that. So it takes how you and me are. Like, no, we going when if I was like you said, if I got some bands and I know I'm like, hey, just like you said, if you just get 10,000, we'll put up, and then even if you don't have money like me,
I got the credit. I might got the credit.
So look, so then boom.
I got the funds and I got the credit. So there we go.
You're either gonna get more money than me, or you're gonna just be getting money like me. You feel what I'm saying? Either one.
Sure.
Even like
I
with your
circle. You to take the risk.
Yep. Because that could be your circle. That could be your circle for the guys. You like, hey, all y'all need from y'all is 10 stacks. You know what I'm saying? All I need is 10 stacks from y'all, and we gonna put up in Body's apartments. You feel what I'm saying? And just y'all get a certain percentage out what we getting, just so y'all can eat. You feel what I'm saying? Like you said, abundance, like help y'all family. You feel me?
Yeah.
Hey, that's real, bruh. Oh my goodness. Hey, y'all know this has been a real episode of Marvelous Bluntz. Before